हरि ओम। ओ ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So Bhagwan tells Arjuna that one who remembers me attains me. Even at the time of death, if you remember me while leaving this body, you will attain me. But if you have done some upasana, then according to those upasanas, you will attain some higher worlds. So when we do Hiranyagarbha upasana or Vaishvanara upasana, we can attain even Brahma Loka, and from there one can gain mukti. But all other, but if one does upasana or karma with some desires in their mind to attain the higher world, then these higher worlds are attained. But after the punya is over, one has to come back to this mortal world. So Bhagavan says there are these two paths. One is the path of Uttarayana and another is the path of Dakshinayana. So path of Uttarayana, which is controlled by the Devatas Agni, Jyoti, Aha, Shukla. The Shukla also is the Devata of the Shukla Paksha. Shukla Paksha Devata. Then the Shanmasa Uttarayanam, the 6 months of Uttarayan Devata. Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Jana. When one lives through this path, one attains that Brahma Lok, and by the blessings of Brahma, one gains moksha. Then there is this other path of return, which is controlled by the Devatas, Dhumaha, smoke, Ratrihi, night, Tatha Krishna. Krishna also means Krishna Paksha, the dark fortnight of the month. Then Shanmasa, Dakshinayanam, and the Dakshinayan Devata. So through this, when a person, Jiva, departs, who has acquired punya, he goes through this path, which is takes him through the path of the moon, and through this path he attains the higher world like Swarga Loka. But thereafter, once that punya is over, he is born again in this mortal world. So these two paths are there, which are given here in order to make us realize the limitations of the results of karma as well as upasana. That will give rise to that vairagya. Because without proper vairagya, one will not sincerely strive to attain moksha. So more about this Bhagavan now tells in verse number 26. Shukla Krishne gati yete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Punaha. Bhagavan says these are the two paths, Shukla and Krishna Gati. Shukla, the path of Uttarayan, and Krishna, the path of Dakshinayan. So these are the two gatis, the two destination of those who follow this path of karma, upasana, jnana. For them, these are the paths which take them to the higher world. So Shukla Krishna Gati Yete Jagata Shashvate Mate. Bhagavan says these are the eternal paths. See, the world is eternal, therefore this path is also eternal. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji writes कि एते शुक्ल कृष्णे ही गति जगतः इति अधिकृतानां ज्ञान कर्मणो न जगतः सर्वस्य एव एते गति संभवतः शाश्वते नित्ये संसारस्य नित्यत्वात्. He said these two gatis are meant for those who follow the path of dharma and who follows the on that they follow the path of karma, upasana. For them are these two gatis, and they are shashvat, they are eternal, because the world is eternal. See, Ishvara is eternal. Ishvara is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha. Is Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, ever pure, Buddha, ever enlightened, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha, ever free. And that Ishvara has created this world, and Ishvara is the master of this world. So this world is also eternal, because if the world is not eternal, Ishvara cannot be an eternal master of it. So the world is eternal, the jivas are eternal. There are infinite jivas, and infinite jivas are at different levels of evolution. Hence they are having different types of desires. So in order to give field to these desires, there are different types of worlds. This world in which we are living is called Martyaloka, wherein we are born, we die, the body constantly decays, we become ill, old. So this is called Martyaloka. Similarly, there are higher worlds, lower worlds. And in this world also, we find that there are different types of beings. So many are there, so many varieties are there. Right from those microbes and different types of flies and different types of birds, insects, different fish, animals, human beings, variety of them are there, and all of them are having different desires, different expression they express. So they need different fields. So this world is always there. Human beings are also always there, who perform good and bad actions. Therefore this gati, the path which takes us to Swarga or to Brahmalok or to Moksha, these paths are also always there. तो शुक्ल कृष्णे गति येते जगत शाश्वते मते. Shashwat, eternal. And these two paths are such कि एकया याति अनावृत्तिम. So Bhagavan summarizes what he said before, that one path takes you towards that goal from where you don't have to return. It takes one to Brahmalok, and from there itself one gains moksha. So the path of anavrittim, path of no return, a one-way path. So ekaya yati anavrittim, anyaya vartate punaha. But if one goes on other path, then we are born again. So we have to understand the limitations of karma and karma phala. See, for walking this path of spirituality, vairagya is very important. We had seen in the 6th chapter also, Arjuna had asked this question, that my mind is very restless and I cannot meditate. That stability in meditation, I think, is not possible. Bhagavan says that, mind is restless by nature, but through abhyas and vairagya, we can control this mind. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha grihyate. So that vairagya, very important. And what is vairagya? Total dispassion, detachment from from all that karma and upasana can offer. Means all that we can achieve through action in this world as well as in the other world, and all that we can achieve through concentration, through upasana. All these results are by nature temporary. So even if we put forth lots of effort and gain something, it is not lasting. It will be lost. And when it gets lost, again we come down. So it doesn't help us to evolve and to attain our highest goal. People in general in this world who are not those who don't have faith in the Shastras, they are attached to their own karma and the results which one can gain in this world. They are anyway, we know them to be temporary, but still people get attracted towards them, towards earning lots of wealth, towards gaining fame in this world, towards acquiring lot of properties, towards acquiring lot of other things of enjoyments, towards going all over the world, enjoying the different pleasures which the world has to offer. All this we can gain through action. But as we continue indulging all this, our body start becoming more and more fragile and old. The body doesn't remain young. It keeps on decaying. Then again the strength of our senses also become weak. What we could have done, what we can do in our young age, we can't do later on. The senses also become weak. The mind, the capacity of the mind, intellect also becomes weak. We fail to memorize and remember and focus and understand and do deep contemplation. All this required great strength and energy into our Sukshma Sharir, but that also gets depleted as one grows old. So, our whole personality itself is temporary. That which is gained through this, through karma, through actions, is temporary. One may say, okay, things in this world are temporary, but if I gain higher world, if I go to Swarga, it is so nice. Everything will be so pleasant there. But here in our Shastra it is clearly said that even Swarga is not eternal, heaven is not eternal, and also hell is not eternal. So when the punya is over, we have to leave that heaven and come back. And when we come back, we are again back to square one, or even below that square one. Not only Swargalok, but even Brahmalok, if we attain through our upasana, in order to gain pleasures in that Brahmalok, that also comes to an end, and again we fall back. So one has to understand this very deeply, properly. See, Just as when we want to, let us say, go on a tour. We study the whole thing, which country we want to visit, what are the facilities there, what type of documents we should have with us, what is the situation in that country, what are the things to be seen and done. So all these things we study, and if we are satisfied, we go. Similarly, here Bhagavan says you can study this. Do you want something temporary in this world and the other world? Or do you want to attain that which is permanent, that which is eternal? Do you want something of the world? Or do you want to attain Ishvara? You think deeply. Do this viveka. Do this discrimination, understand them properly. And when we do this viveka, we gain proper vairagya. So these two paths are indicated here, not only to reveal the nature of this world, but also for sincere seeker to gain that vairagya. Okay? Further, Bhagavan says, नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन. Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, that a yogi, a sincere seeker, a sincere what you call spiritual seeker, who understand these two paths. Shruti means these paths, these two marga, the Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. One who understands them properly. Na muhyati kaschana, they don't get deluded. See, in this world, if you observe, we find lot of people are there who are religious also. They are very, very particular about doing different types of rituals at home. They are also particular about following various types of vratas. Also, they visit various temples regularly. But if you enter their mind and find out what is the purpose, why are they following this path, there will be, majority will be desiring something of this world or something of the other world. Very, very few will desire Ishvara. Very few will say, I don't want anything, oh Bhagavan, I only want you. But most of them are doing this with a desire to gain some results in this world or in the other world. So Bhagavan says this is there because they have not thought about it deeply. They have not understood this whole thing properly. Therefore, Bhagavan says a sincere seeker who understands these two paths, they will also understand the limitations of these two paths. Therefore, hey Arjuna, understanding this, a yogi doesn't get deluded. Therefore, tasmat. Now Bhagavan is advising Arjuna. Tasmat he Arjuna, sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava. Therefore, hey Arjuna, you become yoga yuktaha. Means you follow the path of this karma yoga and karma sannyas, and then you follow the path of meditation. and gain that enlightenment here and now. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukta bhava. At all times you become yoga yukta. Before also Bhagwan had said, even when you are fighting this war, you keep your attention on me. Mam anusmara yudhya cha. Always be tuned to me and do all your work. Same advice Bhagwan is giving here, कि सर्वेषु कालेषु, at all time, you become yoga yukta. You make a firm resolve to attain me, to attain Ishvara, and thereafter you can do all your work, all your duties, but your agenda should be to reach me and attain me. That advice Bhagwan gives to Arjuna, कि तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु, at all times, yoga yukto bhavarjuna, yoga yukta. At whatever stage you are, a yogi is a spiritual seeker. So whatever stage you are, you follow that path sincerely. When you are at the stage of karma yoga, then become a beautiful, wonderful karma yogi. When you are doing upasana to purify your mind, then do your upasana properly. When you approach a teacher to gain knowledge, then approach the teacher properly. Gain that proper knowledge, self-knowledge. Renounce all attachment to actions and sit and meditate and realize the self. See, for example, if you want to, let us say, you want to go to a particular city to do some work. You have some work with the government office. So you go to that capital. You have to go to the capital city and you have to meet some government officials and to do your work. Just example, So you take an appointment and they give you the day and time. So you are staying in some other city. So when you get that appointment, you come to that capital, and you straight away go and do your work. I mean, you should do your work like that. But suppose somebody comes to do some important work, but instead of doing that work goes for sightseeing, Qutub Minar देखने जाता है, and goes here and there, and loses his focus on his main work. And by the end of it, he comes to know that, the time has gone, the appointment is cancelled because he did not reach there on time. So it will be a waste of his whole journey, if this is understood. Same thing happens to us in this world. This world, we visit this world, we are a temporary visitors of this world. We have come to do our work of attaining that enlightenment. That is our main work. We get this human body to gain enlightenment. It is very rare. So when we have got this opportunity, we should focus all our attention to attain this. All other duties, all other things are by the way. Main thing should be attaining this enlightenment. If we fail to focus on this goal, if we get involved with the world, because world will always have something exciting happening. That's how the everyone is kept busy in this world. Even if you check the news channels and all news channels will be busy in some exciting news and all, where not only they are engaged but other people also remain engaged. So this goes on and on. If you happen to come here in this world after 100 years, again some excitement and great things will be happening, different things will be happening in the world. So always there will be something. And if one gets involved with that, one will miss the chance. Like the child who is going to school, when he is walking towards his school, on the way he sees that there is some play is happening. In the good old days they used to bring those monkeys and all, and then they make the monkey do different things and all. So all the children, they assemble there to watch that bandar ka khel. So if this child is busy watching that play, he will miss his school. Similarly, if we are busy in our day-to-day activities and involvement and excitement and great tragedy, comedy of this world, we will miss our chance to attain our supreme goal. Once we leave this world, we don't know when we will get a second chance. No doubt we will get another chance, but we don't know when it will be. Therefore, Bhagwan is advising. Bhagwan Sri Krishna is advising Arjuna, and through Arjuna is advising all of us. He says, Sarveshu Kaleshu, at all times, Yoga Yukto Bhava. Engage yourself in yoga. Be a yogi all the time. Not on Sundays, not on holidays, not for a few days, not only in the Shravan month, but at all times. Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhava Arjuna. Okay? So all of you should also take this advice of Bhagwan. And finally, in the last verse, Bhagwan says, Vedeshu yadneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upayati chadyam. Bhagwan says that if you become a yogi, you will attain that param sthana, which is the ultimate, the supreme goal you will attain. You will attain that which is higher than all the other attainments of this world and the other world. When we acquire punya, we go to a higher world, but yogi attains the supreme. So here Bhagwan is telling that the world which a person who follows the Vedas, yajna, tapas, dana, punya phala, the punya phala which we gain through all these paths, the yogi transcends them all and attains the higher. What are the other things which other people gain? He says, Vedeshu. Vedeshu yat punya phalam pradishtam. See, one who studies the Vedas, one who are entitled to study the Vedas. There are those Brahmans and there are other Varnas who are entitled to study the Vedas, chant the Vedas, do all the rituals mentioned in the Vedas. Bhagwan says, even if they just continue doing their duty of studying these Vedas, they will acquire punya. See this, like for example, nowadays we have the printing. We can print our books. We can also store all information in the electronic world, in the cyber world. Eh? But whatever you store, they come to an end. You cannot store for many years. If you print some books, they also after many years they become dilapidated and they get destroyed. No, we will store in the good old days. They used to store in the big cassettes and all, but the cassettes become outdated. Then they started storing in some floppy disk and all. That also has become outdated. And DVD and what you call that, pen drives and so many different things are there. All of them become outdated. They will be there in your hand and you will not know what to do with them. And the companies who make those things, they purposely make them outdated. So you have all the disc with you, but this player is not available. What will you do with them? Even if you store something on the internet, it might get wiped out, it might get deleted. So if we want to, Bhagwan has given us these Vedas, if we want to store these Vedas, where will we store it? If we want to store it so that it is available for all people at all times, the only safe and lasting place to store is in our own mind. The whole Vedas have to be by-hearted and stored in our mind. And it has to be passed on from one generation to another generation. And one who stores it properly without any mistake. So in order to make it free of mistake, they have to chant it regularly so that it remains intact. The chanting and the tune also should be same, so that there is no discrimination, there is no distortion in it. So this was the system. The Vedas are eternal. They are revealed to great people, and they give it to their disciple, they give it to their disciple. So through Guru Shishya Parampara, through family Parampara, all these scriptures are stored. And that is the system Bhagwan has made. He has given responsibility to some people that you are responsible to take care of these Vedas. So they are the Brahmans. Brahmans are like the storage, like the disk, like the pen drives. They store the entire Vedas and they pass it on to others. So Bhagwan says those who do this work, they gain punya and they go to higher world. Then those who perform the various rituals mentioned in the Vedas, the yajna, they also get punya and attain higher world, yajneshu. Then there are different types of tapas, austerities mentioned in the Vedas. If we sincerely do all these austerities, then one can get punya, and this punya leads a person to a higher world. Later on also Bhagwan will talk about sharirik tapas, mansik tapas, vachik tapas. Means tapas at the level of our body, at the level of our speech, at the level of our mind. So one who does tapas gains punya and goes to a higher world. Similarly, one who does dana, charity, to the right person at the right time with the right attitude, when we do dana, that also gives lot of punya and one can gain higher world. So all this Veda, Yajna, Tapas, Dana gives rise to punya, which takes a person to the higher world, means they go along the path of Dakshinayan towards Swarga and other lokas. But here Bhagwan says, what all these activities can give to a person, much more is acquired by a yogi. Yogi can attain not only what is offered to these people, but he gains much higher than that, which includes everything. He says, Atteti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. The yogi transcends all these results and param sthanam upaiti, and attains that param sthan, that supreme abode. What supreme abode? The abode of Brahma. Means that that supreme Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This yogi becomes Brahma. This yogi attains Brahma. Which yogi? Bhagwan again he clarifies it. He says, Sarvam idam viditva yogi. The yogi who has understood all this. What all this? Shankaracharya ji writes कि सप्त प्रश्न निर्णय द्वारेण उक्तम सम्यक अवधार्य अनुष्ठाय योगी. That which is revealed in these 7 questions, the answers to these 7 questions in this chapter, if a yogi understands this properly, that yogi following that path sincerely will attain the highest result. Param sthanam upayati cha adyam. He attains that sthana of Brahma, who is Adi, who is the supreme, who is the beginning of everything. That sthana is attained by this yogi who understands this, which is revealed through the answers to the 7 questions. Therefore, all of us should strive to become this yogi. What 7 questions that we have studied now in the whole chapter? Let us briefly go through these 7 questions and then conclude. Today we will conclude this 8th chapter. So Arjuna had asked these 7 questions. What is Brahma? What is Adhyatma? What is Adhibhut? What is Adhidaiva? What is Karma? What is Adhiyajna? And at the time of death, how can we attain that supreme? How can we know Ishvara? So Bhagwan briefly answered that Brahma, see all the scriptures, they give us the knowledge of that Brahma, Brahma Vidya. Therefore, the scriptures are called Brahma Vidya. They reveal that Brahma. Brahma is revealed through this world and through the self. The Brahma is revealed. So that Brahma is Nirguna, Nirakar, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And that Brahma is our own self. This Pratyak Atma is that Brahma. So this Pratyagatma, the innermost self, is also Brahma. But now we are not recognizing this Atma properly because of avidya. But when that avidya gets eliminated, we will know that I am Atma Brahma, that this Atma is Brahma. So Brahma, the Supreme Reality, is this Atma. It's called Adhyatma. So this Brahma or this Atma, this Turiya Atma, alone expresses as this world. When we say expresses as this world, means what? Expresses as the material world, expresses as Hiranyagarbha, expresses as Vaishvanara, and expresses as all the activities in this world. So Hiranyagarbha, Vaishvanara, the world, and all the activities are also expression of that same Brahma. So that Brahma is our own self. So all our sadhana is to recognize and understand this self. Even the scriptures talk about Brahma and talk about everything. The final thing is to know ourselves, recognize ourselves, realize ourselves. If we realize ourselves at this in this lifetime itself, we become free. We become free of all our sorrow and suffering. We gain moksha. But if we don't realize, then we are born again or we go to some other worlds. So Bhagavan says that even at the time of death, if you remember me, you will gain moksha. Because the rule is that whatever we remember at the time of death, so we become, that will be our gati. Yathamati tatha gati. Therefore Bhagavan said that all the time you remember me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. And then Bhagavan also mentioned that in order to remember me, you should do abhyasa, practice. So he talked about abhyasa yoga. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati parthanu chintayan. So one who does this abhyas regularly, remembers me, will attain that supreme pada. Bhagavan also revealed his identity as Kavim Purana Manusha Sitaram, that I am Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, controller of this body, giver of all the results of action, beyond all comprehension, beyond all ignorance. So at the time of death, if you meditate on me and leave this body, you will attain me. Or if you meditate on Hiranyagarbha Vaishvanara, you will attain that loka. So Bhagavan gave us this technique of dharana yoga, wherein we can concentrate, focus our attention on our control our senses, control our mind, and through pranayam raise our attention, let the antakarana flow through the sushumna nadi, and when we depart from this world, by focusing our attention in between the eyebrows or at the top of our head at Brahmarandra, then we attain that higher world or we attain Ishvara. One can do this sadhana with the help of that beautiful mantra Om also. So Bhagavan says, Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yap prayati tejan deham sayati paramam gatim. One who chants Om and leave this body will attain that param gati. He says that therefore one should constantly try to remember me. So remembering me all the time, ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginah. One who remembers me at all times. For them I am sulabha, I am easily attainable. You just have to remember me, then you get tuned to me and you attain me. You get connected, we get connected to Bhagwan by remembering him. See, just like if you have let us say you want to talk to your friend. So if you know that friend's number, so you just dial that number on your phone, punch that number on your phone. Then what happens? You get connected to your friend. Your friend may be anywhere in the world. If you know the number and if you are within the range, then you can connect with your friend. So in order to connect, you have to punch that number and connect. Similarly, Ishvara is everywhere, but we have to connect with him. And that technique of connection is through smaranam. भगवान का स्मरण करो, हाँ, उनका स्मरण नित्य. So when we do nitya smaran of Ishvara, we get connected to him and we attain him when we leave this world. And once we attain Ishvara, there is no more samsara to us. But if we don't attain Ishvara, then we are stuck in samsara. So we are either born again and again in this world, or we go into lower world, or we go into higher world. And Bhagavan says, even if you go to the highest world of Brahmaloka, you can be born again. So all these worlds are punaravarti. They are returnable. You will return from this world, because they are all limited by time. So in one day of Brahmaji, the world is created, it is sustained, it gets dissolved. Then again next day, after he wakes up, again he creates the world, sustains, dissolves. And the beings are born again and again helplessly, and they live their life and experiences joys and sorrows. So the whole world dissolves into Avyakta, but that supreme Brahma is also Avyakta, which is beyond this Avyakta. So one who attains that supreme Brahma is never born again in this samsara, becomes free of samsara. Bhagavan says you can attain that Brahma through bhakti. Purushasya parah partha bhaktya labhyah tu ananyaya. Through ananya bhakti we can attain that Brahma. Because the entire world is within that Brahma only. Everything exists in Brahma. Yasya antasthani bhutani. All beings are in Brahma, and that Brahma pervades everything. Just like space pervades everything, Brahma pervades everything. Then he talked about these two paths. The path of Uttarayan, which is of no return if we through proper upasana, in order to gain moksha, if we follow this path of Uttarayan, we attain Brahmalok, and there we attain moksha. Or if we have not done this sadhana properly, just acquired lot of punya, then we follow the path of Dakshinayan, go to higher world, and again are born in this world. So one who understands these limitations and the beauty of this twofold path will not get attached to them, will try to gain liberation here and now. So that is what Bhagavan wants Arjuna. He says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava. Therefore, hey Arjuna, at all times you become yoga yukta. Become a sincere yogi. Follow this path of karma yoga, upasana, karma sannyas, jnana and all sincerely. Because a yogi, as Bhagwan has guided, will gain the results which transcends the result gained by other karma kandis and other jivas. Even those who attain that what you call punya through Vedic chanting, or by performing yajna, or doing some tapas, or through dana, whatever punya phala they gain, the yogi transcends that phala and gains that supreme state of enlightenment. He attains that Brahma, Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, which is the Param Dhama, having attained which there is no more samsara. So Atteti Sarvamidam Viditva. So having understood these 7 questions and their answers and the whole psychology of the whole thing, the yogi will not get deluded, will sincerely follow this path and attain the supreme state of enlightenment here and now. Okay? So thus concludes this beautiful chapter, the 8th chapter. Here Bhagwan, the last, that Sankalpa Vakya is there. So Om Tat Sad Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Taraka Brahma Yogo or Akshara Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamodhyayaha. So this is the 8th chapter called Akshara Brahma Yoga, and it's a dialogue between Bhagwan Sri Krishna and Arjuna. It is a Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra, reveals the knowledge of Brahma and also the yoga, the technique, the sadhana to attain that Brahma. And this is Bhagavad Gita. Each chapter is like a Upanishad. So thus conclude this 8th chapter. The next chapter is 9th chapter. One of the most beautiful chapter, in which Bhagwan again reveals his own supreme identity. And in that chapter, Bhagwan also talks about bhakti and the simple way of doing Bhagwan's bhakti. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam and all. It's a very beautiful chapter. It's right in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita. And that famous shloka is also there. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshema vahamyaham. So that chapter, very beautiful. It's called Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. So that chapter we will do day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a break. Chutti. Because after studying this continuously, we need a little break in between, so that you can digest whatever you have studied properly. खाते भी है ना, तो थोड़ा बीच में we should have a break so that we can digest what we have eaten. Similarly, you should digest what you have heard. So tomorrow, chutti, okay? And day after tomorrow, we will begin with the 9th chapter. So for tomorrow, I will not give you any questions also. Questions I will give for the Sunday holiday. So tomorrow complete chutti. And those who have missed in between some listening to some videos, you can listen to them and contemplate on this. Until then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, remember God, Ishvara. and we will meet again day after tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. जय जय राम। बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।